and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Guys, people's feelings matter. Stop hurting people's feelings. Stop making fun of them. What's wrong with all of you? Because apparently, top Democrats want their own party to stop dissing Vice President Kamala Harris. It's not like that she invited it onto herself. I mean, let's face it. Kamala Harris has a lower approval rating than Biden. Kamala Harris, when she ran for president, got defeated not once, but twice on the debate stage by Tulsi Gabbard. This is a fact. Kamala Harris's campaign went bankrupt and didn't even get a single delegate. And yes, I know the diehard vote blue no matter who and Kev are quick to say, but she's vice president. Yeah, but she's completely unpopular and she's failed at her job. Remember that whole thing that the Biden-Harris campaign were running on in 2020? We're returning back America's soul to this country. But what did she tell the migrants? Do not come. Don't come. Don't come. Or let's face it, when it comes down to any other issue, I mean, Kamala Harris's own staff were abandoning her left and right. I mean, I never saw a office of this administration hemorrhage and lose so many people. So now apparently Senator Elizabeth Warren is in some hot water, and Kamala refuses to accept her call or apology as it stands right now, because apparently Warren herself gave some, I guess, critical reviews of Kamala, and when you watch it, you'd be like, oh my God, this is a nothing burger. But again, the fact that top Democratic officials are telling their own party members, stop dissing Kamala Harris, everyone sees it. It's like that scene from House of the Dragon, the new Game of Thrones show, where the king is saying, who's saying that my grandchildren are bastards? They're not legitimate, right? And if you haven't seen the show, sorry, spoilers, but, eventually the king's eldest son is like, Dad, everybody knows that those kids are not her husbands. She's with another guy. Those kids are bastards. Everybody knows, and everyone's quiet. Like the king's looking around the entire courtroom. He's looking around his entire space, and everyone just has that look on their face, like, yeah. Everyone knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that Kamala's not that popular. Okay, everybody knows. Miguel H., Wendy Carballo, everyone in the live stream audience, even the White House counselor knows. So shout out to Case Study QB, who somehow sits through corporate media. I don't know how you do this, buddy. I really don't. You have more willpower than me. Top Democrats want party to stop dissing Vice President Kamala Harris. So let's hear this little sob story.
Before presidential race looming, Democratic leaders are urging critics to get off Kamala Harris's back, get on board. They cite a long string of snubs and slights directed at the vice president, and they warn the pile-on could become a problem for a Biden re-election campaign if it continues. Let's bring back CNN's Jasmine Wright in Washington this Monday morning. Jasmine, what's the concern here among top Democrats?
Yeah, Christine. Well, the criticism of the vice president's capabilities and her prospects for the future have been almost a near constant for her tenure as vice president.
Which she's done that herself. She's done that herself. No amount of help for Kamala can fix her image, okay?
But according to our reporting, it really hit a flashpoint after Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts was asked in a local Boston radio interview in January about whether or not she would support Vice President's inclusion on the ticket if Biden were to run in 2024. Take a listen here to her answer.
By the way, just a quick reminder, look, I know a lot of us have lost faith in Bernie Sanders, but never forget when Warren made that lie saying that he said a woman can't be president. I mean, it's kind of funny to see Warren in that hot seat. This is like karma. I like to see these politicians squirm now, because what you're going to see is absolute gold, because Warren is making some comments being critical, but at the end, like any other typical politician, like the Democratic servant that she is, She's going to flip flop and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant at all."
I really want to defer to what makes Biden comfortable on his team. I've known Kamala for a long time. I like Kamala. I knew her back when she was an attorney general, and I was.
The fact that she said, "I know Kamala. I like Kamala. I've worked." That should tell you, like, no, they don't really like each other.
Still teaching, and we worked on the housing crisis together. So we go way back, but they have to be a team, and my sense is they are. I don't mean that by suggesting I think there are any problems.
So sources told me and my colleague Isaac Dover that pretty soon after Elizabeth Warren gave that answer, she realized it was a mistake, and her office put out a statement clarifying it. But then Elizabeth Warren went a step further. She went and called the vice president twice to apologize.
Oh, beta move. Beta move. It's like, did you get my call the first time? Hi, I'm sorry. Please, let's be friends again. Please, let's be friends again.
Sources told us, and the vice president hasn't called her back. Now, when you talk to people in the vice president's orbit, they're really furious about this comment, not just because it was Elizabeth Warren that made it, but because it was a part of what they felt a long list of snubs and disrespect that the vice president has received about her capabilities, about her tenure over the last 2 years, and the fact that Democrats at large haven't really been appreciative of the work that vice president has done alongside President Biden. But it's not just her team that's upset. Pretty insulting is how one source put their reaction to it, but it's larger amount of Democrats who realize that the negativity around the vice president could prove to be a real problem
which she has done herself. Hey, CNN, look, I know you guys went belly up by spending all that money on CNN Plus, but I mean, look at the bigger picture. Kamala got 0 delegates. She was only made vice president to fix her image because her campaign was an absolute disaster. It went broke. So that means when the primary votes first took place in Ohio, she was not on the ballot because she ended her campaign. She got destroyed twice by Tulsi Gabbard. This is a fact. This isn't a debate. And since then, she has been an extremely unpopular vice president, almost on par with Dick Cheney. Dare I say it, if things continue as they are, she can make herself more unpopular than Dick Cheney. And if you're losing to Dick Cheney, or if you're not if you're more disliked than Dick Cheney, you are an epic failure of a politician. That's where Kamala's at right now. She's not respected. People don't like her.
Comes to if President Biden does run in 2024, as we expect he will in the next few months, make an announcement, but also just in terms of the vice president, obviously she's a younger politician and could potentially be the face of the party. Now, the White House to us made clear in this story the fact that they view vice president as an integral part of the administration.
And what has she done? What has she done that was so monumental? Oh, yeah, she was the first vice president to go to like a funeral for a shooting that took place, you know? Or I think, no, not a shooting, a young man who was killed by police brutality. I mean, there you go. There's something. Anything else? Yeah, probably not. I mean, hell, CNN, you can talk about how Roe v. Wade died under this administration and they could have done things. I mean, you know, it's kind of historic, you know, first black woman vice president in American history, and Roe v. Wade dies under her watch. Really says a lot. Really says a lot.
And therefore really kind of casting aside any comments or speculation or political chatter, as the vice president has put it, that she could be replaced from the ticket. And so Democrats tell us for this story that if that is the case, if she is not going to be replaced on the ticket, then Democrats really need to come together and support her for the good of the ticket in 2024 and good for the party.
That's not politics, man. If somebody sucks and people don't like it, they're going to go away from it, all right? If people don't like somebody, they're going to ignore them and dismiss them. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. This isn't a conversation or a debate to be had. This is how it's done. You don't like it? Well, Hey, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I mean, look, Kamala did this herself. People don't like her. By the way, people of East Palestine, Ohio, did the vice president visit you guys? Did the president visit you guys? People of Flint, Michigan, did Kamala fly down and say, hey, the water's safe to drink? People of Hawaii, your water's been contaminated. Any confirmation or, I don't know, words from Kamala? Yeah, no, probably not. She's not that popular. Her polling numbers are terrible.
Beyond that. Christine.
All right, Jasmine Wright, thank you so much. So
Nice to see you too.
why are White House and Democratic leaders trying to make these moves to reset the vice president's image right now?
Okay, so look, I'm going to keep this simple. Why they're trying to reset it, all right? And I know Vote Blue No Matter Who or K-Hive will be triggered by this, but look, in the 2020 primary, they're trying to make Kamala the next Obama. A woman, she's black, she's able to, I guess, have some little kick in her step, and her campaign started off with a bang and ended in a fizzle. Why? Because of her own political track record. She's not that popular, and she comes with a lot of baggage. Okay? Everything that she has done has been an epic failure, especially under this administration. And they're trying to fix it because, let's be clear here, why are they so keen on trying to fix her image? Is there something wrong with Biden's health? Is he still around? Is the cocktail of drugs starting to lose their effects? And now, Biden might not be able to keep himself together on the campaign trail. And you need your, I don't know, ace in the hole being Kamala. How'd that work out, Democrats? Her campaign went belly up before the first vote was cast in Ohio. Got destroyed twice on a debate stage by Tulsi Gabbard, the quote-unquote pariah of the Democratic Party. These aren't opinions. These are facts. These are things that happened. 0 delegates. And she was only made vice president because Klobuchar had a lot of baggage too. Sometimes it just comes down to people just don't like a person. Kamala's not popular. Nothing that the Democratic Party can do can fix it, but they're going to put all their weight into corporate media on that scale to try and make people like her. That's not how people's opinions work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Christine, it's because her approval ratings are quite low. When she's at 40%, it's a good day. And that's not the position you want to take into a reelection campaign. And this is where the rubber meets the road. Because Joe Biden is poised now to make sort of history in the octogenarian running for reelection space.
Which is, again, pathetic in its own right. Look, Biden's going to be so old being president. This isn't against senior citizens. Listen, if you're in your 80s, live out your golden years as much as you can. When you go, your descendants will be living in a nightmare. So just live out your golden years. You can't really contribute much, especially if you're a person in power. But a lot of our politicians just don't care. And especially to a lot of people, look, yeah, you need someone of sharper mind and at least aware of how the world is changing. Biden is from a different era of America, okay? A way different era. He is not fit to be our leader. And neither is Trump. I'll be damned if I vote Democrat or Republican, but my God, seriously. This is how sad things are.
There are concerns about his age, and it does raise the stakes for who the vice president is, who the running mate would be. And it's true that if Democrats are adding, if Democratic leaders are kind of adding to the undercurrent of unpopularity with Kamala Harris, it could be a problem. I think the challenge for Biden and for Harris is going to be that this is just simply the reality, and she's going to need to find a way to surf above it. She and Elizabeth Warren could make up, hold hands, and go on a tour together to win back hearts and minds.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren hold hands. You're my best friend, Kamala. You said it, Elizabeth Warren. Let's go be a tag team partner together and save America from Trump. Yeah. Dumbest thing I ever heard on CNN. Well, hold on, CNN. I'm pretty sure you got some fun things down the road.
Or she
But by the way, hey, let's have democracy in the chat. Hey, do you find it funny that Warren's in hot water now? And she's like, she called Kamala's office not once and twice. That's a beta move. Like, Warren, hi, Kamala. This is Senator Elizabeth Warren. I'm so sorry. Please call back. Bring. Kamala, it's Warren. Did you get my voicemail? I said I was sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I find it great. Type 1 if you're laughing your ass off. Type 2 if like, Kit, Senator Elizabeth Warren's being sincere. You're being mean and hurting people's feelings. Hashtag you're a bully.
She could not return a phone call for a month. So I think this is sort of what they're weighing right here. But if you look at the public-facing messages that the president is trying to send, you're going to see, and we're seeing it now, a lot more pictures of President Biden and Kamala Harris together, of them smiling at each other on the.
You know, we've done reports of how both their teams don't like each other. And what's funny is Kamala's had a history of hemorrhaging people from the early days of this administration. Even Simone Sanders used to be part of Kamala's team. Where's Simone Sanders at now? Where are you at, Simone?
The Twitter feed, and that's deliberate. It is to get this back on track ahead of a real.
Just gotta pretend we're friends. Listen, Kamala, your image sucks. So listen, you're gonna hold hands with Biden. It's like, ugh, I gotta touch him. He smells. Listen, you just gotta put on smiles, and Biden's gonna be turning around. Like, wow, boy, oh boy, Dr. King really did change things in the 2 years I've been in DC. No, Joe, it's 2023. Dr. King is dead. What? Joe, just smile at the camera. What? Joe, look at the camera. What? I'm going to hell. I'm sorry, folks. I'll see y'all down there if you want to join me. That's where all the cool kids will be at.
Election announcement.
But you know, maybe I'm being too mean. You know, maybe Kamala might have her finger on the pulse or something. To the critics, don't come at her. Congratulate and respect. Don't be a hater. Do not come. Do not come. Because you know something? Maybe all of you just need to stop being haters. Do not come.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm going to come.